Hi, so my name is Meredith and I'm with Purpose Focused, and I want to share with you an experience I had a few weeks ago. So my family and I got together and decided to go to a neighborhood mall and just walk around and enjoy one another. Beautiful mall, every retail store you want to think of. We walked around for a while till we realized what the real true draw of this mall was. It was the second level where all the high-end retail stores was. So being adventurous, we decided to go up there and take a look. We were walking around having a great time, just enjoying one another, looking at different stuff, doing the whole girl thing. Oh, that's so cute on you, girl, thing, until I saw the Coach store. Now, anyone who knows me knows that when I was younger, I would spend the rent money on a Coach bag and feel happy about it. And so my first instinct was not to go in, although I've grown a lot since then. I wound up going in anyway. Had a great time walking around looking at beautiful, and the store did not disappoint. Beautiful merchandise. Until I remember that a coworker of mine has a Coach ID holder. Had to have it. So I found a salesperson who was a little snootier than I expected and a little bit snootier for my taste. Told her what I was looking for. She said she had it. She said she's going to go get it. Didn't come back right away. But I waited because I wanted to have it. So when she came back, she asked me if anyone helped me. I told her no because I was waiting on you. So she points me to the remaining two that they had left. I chose one. She did this costs $65. So I said, well, great, because I actually thought it cost more. So let's go to the register. So we go to the register, we're ringing it up. She does this. Okay, well, what do you do for a living? Inappropriate question, I thought. So I told her, I happen to love my 9-to-5 job. In addition to my calling, Purpose Focus, I also have a 9-to-5 job, which I love. And I make a comfortable living from. And so she made this kind of face like, do you really think you can afford to shop in here face? Which I ignored as well. Bought the ID holder, went home, and enjoyed the rest of our evening. Now, why do I share that story with you? Is this some sort of referendum on race relations or gender relations or the commercialism that we see around Christmas? No. In the words of the movie Black Panther, I will not challenge today. So that's not what this is about. What it's about is the why. Now, for me, it reminded me of the younger version of myself who was triggered by the little girl in her. And the little girl in her grew up in a home where, although we had everything we needed, we were still a lot poorer than our friends and family and the other counterparts that we had around us. So we were surrounded by people who had more while we lived with less. And although my mom did a great job of making sure that we had everything that we needed, it was not hard to notice the fact that our families had nice homes, drove nice cars, had labels on their clothes, went to private schools, and all of those things. And so I left that experience feeling the need to place my value and my worth on things that I had. So as soon as I started working, even though it was just in college part-time, I had to spend money that I couldn't afford on things to make myself feel more valuable. Now, why is that important? Because that's kind of the way the world works now, isn't it? It's important because, especially from a spiritual perspective, because as a woman of faith, I have to go there. If Satan knows that you place value on what you look like, where you work, and what you own, he can control you. How? By giving you things and taking them away. And why is that also important? It's also important because it will impact how we treat one another based on what they have, what they look like, and what they do. So he knows that he can control how we see ourselves, and we can control how we perceive and treat one another. And so it's a very powerful tool in his arsenal. However, our Heavenly Father looks at things a lot differently, and I want to share with you Psalms 103. And it says, for he knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust. As for man, his days are like grass. His He flourishes like a flower of the field. The wind blows over it and it's gone, and its place remembers it no more. Our Heavenly Father knows that we are just dust and clay. Why? Because He made us. He made us from dust. He made us from clay. And He knows that we are basically slowly decomposing. And once we do take our last breath, we will be put back into the earth. We will decompose, and it will be as if our clay bodies was here no more. However, in 1 Peter 2, it tells us that He loved us and He predestined us from the foundation of the world. So although He knew that we were just flesh and vessels of clay, He placed such importance on those pieces of clay that He had a purpose and a will for our lives from before the foundation of the earth. And if we dig a little deeper and we think about what our Heavenly Father places importance on, when we look at the map of what heaven will look like and where we will live will look like on the earth made new, we'll be walking on streets of gold. Gold. The gates of the city will be made of pearl. The pearls that are so small here on earth that they can be found in oyster shells are going to be so big there that they are going to be able to be a gate to a city. Why is that important? So the things that we place emphasis on down here are going to be nothing more than construction tools up there. It's going to be more than concrete and metal up there. And so, but if we choose to accept His gift of salvation and we choose to live for Him, and we are honored with the opportunity to be able to live in heaven for 1,000 years and live on earth made new for forever, we will be seated in heavenly places. We will be able to go to other worlds and other universes as kings and queens and rule with dominion and authority. These lumps of clay will be seated next to our Heavenly Father and seated next to our only begotten brother. And we will be able to rule and live out our purpose with majesty and with power and authority. And so it's important to know, although it's important to work to take care of yourself, and it's important to keep up your body and present a polished appearance. It's important to make sure that you take care of your loved ones and make sure that they live comfortable, and all those things, and their earthly, if you will, pursuits all have their place. But while we are going out there and we're about our grind and we're about to secure that bag, we have to remember that we must place more emphasis in the other lumps of clay that we come across, the people that we touch every day, than we do on the things that we can buy and sell. And so as we end this first week of 2020, I remind you and urge you to place more emphasis on the people in our lives and less emphasis on the things of our lives. So my name is Meredith again with Purpose Focused, and thank you for listening.